a day even historians may have trouble describing. A day when Mikhail Gorbachev resigned as the president of a Soviet Union which had already ceased to exist.
Time for Gorbachev's departure, but of greater importance, time for the end of a state that in its brief 74 years had murdered and oppressed its own people, enslaved other countries, and threatened the peace, the very existence of the whole world.
Eastern Europe is free. The Soviet Union itself is no more. This is a victory for democracy and freedom.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
On December 25th, 1991, the Soviet Union officially collapsed, marking the end of the Cold War. A decades-long global standoff filled with tension, proxy wars, nuclear threats, and even a race to space. The world changed overnight, and the effects of that collapse are still shaping history today.
The collapse of the USSR in 1991 led to the immediate and chaotic changes, starting with the new sudden creation of the 15 countries. Nations like Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and the other Baltic states were now independent for the first time in decades. But freedom came fast, and many weren't ready. There were no clear governments, no strong economies, and no smooth transitions. Just confusion and struggles of power. At the same time, Russia's economy fell apart. The country shifted overnight from a state-controlled system to wild capitalism. The prices exploded. The ruble became almost worthless, and millions of people lost their life savings. Unemployment soared, and store shelves emptied out. For ordinary Russians, the 1990s were a time of deep poverty and desperation. And then came war. In 1994, the Russian region of Chechnya declared independence, just like the other Soviet republics had, but Russia said no. The result was the First Chechen War, a brutal conflict with street-to-street fighting in cities like Grozny. Thousands died, and the war showed how quickly the USSR collapse had led to chaos and violence inside Russia's own borders.
In the years after the collapse, Vladimir Putin rose to power, became president in 1999, promising to restore order, and over time, he turned Russia into a more authoritarian state. Around the same time, Russia launched the Second Chechen War before taking back control of Chechnya. It was longer, deadlier, and helped boost Putin's image as a strong leader. Decades later, tensions with former Soviet countries exploded. In 2014, Russia invaded Crimea, and in 2022, they launched a full-scale war against Ukraine, a former Soviet republic. This war that killed hundreds of thousands and reignited global conflict.